Hello and welcome to the 2025 Sun Conference Baseball Media Day. Suncast, covering the Sun Conference, is excited to host the inaugural Sun Conference Baseball Media Day. And I'm your host, Reagan Harrell. I want to welcome you all in. We have Southeastern Fire first year head coach Gabe Grinder and graduate student pitcher Reese Wissinger. Coach Reese, how are you both doing today, gentlemen?
Doing well. Thanks for having us on this morning.
Also doing well.
Yes, sir. Of course, Reese, familiar, you and me, we've been on the podcast side of things with Suncast a couple of times. Coach, I want to welcome you back into Lakeland, Florida, where you were a really good pitcher there in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But first question for you, you're coming as a first year head coach and you have a experienced pitcher like Reese in the pitching staff. You just start off with telling us what Reese means to your program on and off the field.
He's meant a lot to us. I had sat him and the other returners down when I got the job and told them that it was my job to earn their trust. And I think once we kind of built that trust throughout the fall, you started see our team pick its pace up. Once our returners realized this was a good deal and we were going to get after it, and having him buy into what we do on the mound has been a huge help to getting our pitching staff moving forward.
Yeah, could you return to Lakeland where you put up quite the legacy 2009, 2000 to 2011. You were also on the staff in 2013. What does it mean to you be back in Lakeland and being at the helm of the Fire baseball program?
This place was has meant a lot to me throughout years. It helped me grow up when I was young and dumb. Coach Beck helped me a lot, and to be able to come back here and work again in this athletic department means the world to me. I worked for Drew Watson for a year. It was his first year as AD when I was an assistant here. So being able to come back and work for him is great. This is a great place with a lot of great people, and it's easy to work here.
Reese, first question for you, man. You're building up a pretty good resume yourself in your first 2 years in a Fire uniform. As you enter your third year, what are your personal goals heading into the season?
I would say the personal goal would be definitely to become like the pitcher of the year. I've been wanting to be a pitcher of the year for quite some time now, and being a reliever, it's just hard to do that. You can't really do that. So now that I'm actually going to start and be on the bump the whole game, I think I'm going to try and achieve that pitcher of the year award for sure.
Yeah, keep it back and keep it in Lakeland, Florida, where there's quite a few Pitcher of the Year and Player of the Year awards, and you're looking to add on. But as a leader on this team, Reese, what do you feel like the team's personal goals are heading into the season? Where I think it's safe to say there could be a chip on the shoulder of the Fire program.
Oh, 100%. I agree. I would just say we need to stay locked in and play as a team well. The last few years, I mean, we haven't really played as a team very well. In the end of the year, that's normally what I'm talking about. But I think if we just stay locked in throughout the whole year, grind as a team, do everything together, I think we're gonna have a really good shot.
Coach, you mentioned at the top of the interview, your message to the returners was you wanted to earn their trust coming in. What's been the overall message to the rest of the team as the calendar flips into 2025 and you get ready to start your first year as the head coach there in Lakeland?
I think the big thing for us is guys understanding that we're going to be great because of the sum of our parts and not because of one individual player. And that's playing out for us very early in the season here with some different stuff going on. But I think when guys buy into our system and not just their individual skill set, we become what we're supposed to be as a team. And that's continue to be the message day after day is do the little things really well because you never know when you're called upon. And I like consistency. I like to know what I'm getting myself into all the time. And that's why we preach the sum of our parts is our greatest asset. Because if Reese goes down, then hey, we got to find another guy that plugs in and knows what they have to get done. And if a shortstop goes down, well, we plug the next guy in. And that's what's allowed our teams in the past that I've coached to continue their success. That no injury or loss has hindered us from doing what we need to do.
So the sum of our hearts is our greatest asset. Is that the
Some
message?
of our parts, the sum of our parts.
Some of our parts. Okay, I
Yeah,
couldn't
that's
quite.
our greatest asset is playing as one unit and not necessarily relying on one pitcher or one fielder to make us who we are.
Love that. It's a great message to the team. But coach, let's get into what a lot of the fans are wanting to hear. Let's get to know this 2025 Southeastern Fire team. Obviously, Reese is going to be a big part of the pitching staff, but let's hear who else is going to make up the starting rotation, and there's going to be some big arms in the bullpen for the Fire heading to the 2025 campaign.
We have some familiar faces that'll be in the rotation. Agnel Miranda's back again. He had a great fall pitching for Team Puerto Rico in different events. He'll throw for us in the rotation. Aaron Robertson is a strike throwing machine from the left side. He comes from Central Washington. He'll throw for us. And then I think you're going to see a mix of Chase Muir that came from Barry University and Bryce McDonald, who's a returner here as well, throw significant innings. As far as bullpen guys, Elvis Janau, he's been here the last 2 years. He threw the ball really well this fall. Micah Earwood, a Georgia State transfer, has had some really good stuff. And then we've got some mix and match of guys that maybe are misfit toys that haven't fit in other places that we've found some different things that are just outlier capabilities for them and giving them a home inside of our bullpen. And there'll be a variety of faces that do different things that make them unique and get outs that'll help us out. So that's kind of how the pen will look for us. And then offensively, it's a lot of new faces. We return David Castillo, who's just about back from his knee injury at the World Series. Fonzie Villalobos will be in the order for us this year. He was a Sun Conference Player of the Year in the tournament last year. So sorry, not Sun Conference Player of the Year, but Sun Conference Tournament Player. He's back for us, and then we bring in a host of new faces. Connor Hicks behind the plate. He's an Indiana State transfer. Few first basemen that can really hit. Peter Tasker from Dodge City. James Strom from Akron University. Second base will have Nick Struer and Miles White. Miles comes from Jackson State. Nick from Gordon State. We have Tyler Henriquez from Jacksonville University. And then in the outfield, we have a little bit of everyone transfer-wise too. JP Pinella came in at break from USF. Charlie Collins from Odessa College. And Paul Whitman from West Texas A&M, who was the Gold Glove winner last year in the Lone Star Conference in center field. He'll be joining us as well. So we have a whole new host of faces, but a lot of great talent, a lot of great players.
Yeah, it sounds like, Coach, a lot of really good transfers coming in, including Indiana State transfer. Of course, Southeastern Fire fans will remember a certain Indiana State transfer by the name of Brian Fuentes, hitting 5 home runs and winning NAIA World Series MVP a couple years ago in Lewiston. I'm sure you'd hope to repeat that, have a guy put up that kind of feat this year. But first, you got to get through one of the toughest conferences in NAIA baseball. Reese, I got to ask, you now have 2 years under your belt of pitching in one of the best offensive conferences in all of small college baseball. What's it like as a pitcher, especially for you in this transition where you were a bullpen guy, a top end closer in the conference where you came in a lot of pressure situations, and now you're going to transition into something somewhat familiar where you're going to face some of the same bats, but of course, Sun Conference, you have new opponents, top end opponents, and now a new challenge in being a starting pitcher. So what's this experience been like for you, and what's your mindset just going into this new role of being a starter?
It's definitely been a lot different, obviously, as being a closer. Like, it was a lot easier to prepare myself for the weekend, and now being a starter, like, I don't really know how to prepare myself, but I have, like, coaches help me a lot. My other coach, Spongeberg, has helped me a lot, but I think it's just the mindset part is the biggest difference for me. That's what I would say. Yeah.
We've got a little bit of a more fun question for you. You probably face some of the best swings in the Sun Conference there at Southeastern. So I got to ask, heading into this season, who's got the best, most pure swing of anybody on the team?
On our team would probably be Charlie Collins, and he has probably the best mindset in the box also. And yeah, that's probably the best swing I've seen and the hardest kid that I've faced on our team.
Love it. We're excited to see him come into the Lakeland Night Sky this year. Coach, I just want to get to know your staff a little bit. Tell us about the staff that you've surrounded yourself and the team with heading into your first year in Lakeland.
Yeah, Josh Larinaga came with me from UT Permian Basin. He had originally started with me at Ottawa University. He's been with me now for 5 years. routinely had some of the best offenses in the country, both at the NAI and then last year at Division II as well. He does a phenomenal job with our hitters and takes a lot off my plate on that side where I don't have to worry about what's getting done. I know the right stuff is. Lance Sponsberg helps me on the pitching side. Lance played for me at Morningside, helped me at Ottawa as well. He was with me my first 2 years as a head coach. So I always tell guys when they think I'm crazy, I said, just ask Lance how bad it was in my first year. It's not so bad anymore. And then Aaron Eshelman came with us from UT Permian Basin as well. He works with our outfielders, helps Larinaga on the hitting side, and coaches first base with us.
Coach, you were part of the staff, some great NAI baseball teams, and you're also head coach at Ottawa, but on staff at Oakwoo, West Virginia, Wesleyan, Morningside, and then obviously Ottawa, where you were the head coach and had success in the KCAC. What do you bring from those experience, and how have you developed as a coach at all of these stops, where now you are back at your alma mater and looking to get Southeastern back to the mountaintop of NAI baseball?
Yeah, Brian Drent was the first guy I worked for outside of Coach Beck at Morningside, and he helped me grow up a lot. I was 23, 24 years old at the point in time, and I thought I was pretty smart, and I wasn't. So he helped me grow a lot just in how I went about my business every day, recruited all of that. And then I was fortunate to work for Matt Parker at Oklahoma Wesleyan, where I think Matt really helped me refine my skills as a coach and taught me what whole program organization looks like, how to build a culture, everything, and helped me along the way greatly there. And then got to learn at Ottawa how to be a head coach. It wasn't pretty those first 2 years, but quickly grew up and figured that stuff out. And then I think coaching the Lone Star, I know it's not NAI, but coaching the Lone Star last year, I think prepares you for what the Sun Conference is, because it was unrelenting the last 2 years in that conference. And it was one of the best two Division II conferences in the country both years. So I think preparing through that and learning how to beat teams that are talent-wise far superior than you, puts me in a really good spot here with these guys to help guide them in the direction they need to go to win baseball games at a high level.
Love it. Next question for you, Reese. Look, you're one of the more electric pitchers to watch at this level of college baseball. 2 years ago was just an unreal year of sub .9 ERA. Last year, more of a scouting report on you, and I know that you said at the top of the interview, Southeastern's got a chip on their shoulder. I'm sure you do too. You're wanting to get back to that level, and look, that's the level you want to be. You say you want to be an NAI pitcher of the year. You're wanting to put up those numbers like you did 2 years ago. So I ask, what aspects of your game are you looking to improve on from last season to get you back at that level that you were 2 years ago? And obviously not trying to say anything about last year. You were a great pitcher, but
No, but I haven't really had a great off-speed pitch and like a put-away pitch besides my fastball. And this year at the beginning of the fall, Coach Grinder helped me with my my gripping with my slider. We completely changed it, and I feel so much more comfortable with it. I'm actually throwing it for strikes. Like the spin rate on it is pretty good. So I would say that's probably the biggest aspect where I've been working on, and plus like gaining up my my stamina for the entire game instead of 1 to 2 innings maybe. So that's probably the biggest change in my game.
Yeah, not surprised at all to hear you say that the stamina aspect with you moving into a new role for the team, and as far as you developing that slider and being able to throw that for strikes, I can just feel the hearts of a lot of Sun Conference batters start to kind of sink into their stomachs a little bit with you matching that with that electric fastball.
Doing good, that's for sure.
Guys, got one more serious question for you, Coach, and we'll wrap things up with a fun one for you. Coach, what's going to be the keys for Southeastern to defend their Sun title in your first year and get back to Lewiston this year?
I tell every good team I've ever coached is how do you handle getting punched in the mouth? I hope that we do opening weekend. I know most coaches wouldn't say that. They want to go 4-0. I want to get punched in the mouth opening weekend and find out how resilient we are and how well we'll bounce back, because I think that will determine how good we're capable of being this year in defending our title and getting to Lewiston.
Love it. Coach Reese, I got one last question for you. So y'all are about to head out to campus, go to, West Palm Beach or Miami Gardens, or making a trip up to see me here in Babson Park. But first, you're gonna have to stop at that gas station. Reese, bump day, you gotta get something to go, coach. Any game day, you gotta get a little something from the gas station. What's that gas station order looking like on a Sun Conference game day, gentlemen?
Mine's definitely a C4. That's a need. I need that energy drink. But honestly, I really don't eat a whole lot before the game. So I would normally just go with either a bag of seeds and a C4 or just a C4.
Seed, C4, and a vibe, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What about for you, coach?
I'm a big gulp Pepsi, as big as I can get.
Get like 64 ounce, just an
Yeah.
absolute unit of a Pepsi.
Find a way to make it through the game with that sucker.
What about for a double header? You going to get two of them?
No, I only one. I might go into a diabetic shock if I put two of those down.
Well, Coach, I'm excited to see your first year in Lakeland. Reese, excited to see you back on the bump in a Southeastern Fire uniform. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and best of luck in the 2025 campaign.
Thanks, Reagan.
Thanks, Reagan. Have a good one.
You too.